So guys, I wanted to bring you this video today because I think it perfectly adds on to a video that I did the other day. It's from an individual called Jay Hana, right? She's a streamer, but I think she's a YouTuber. You know, she's got a link tree. Let me just click on her link tree, make sure that she hasn't got an OnlyFans. Thank God. So at least there's that. She had a galaxy brain take on her Twitter page. And the other day I said that I think we should be more accommodating to women. We should make them feel a little bit more welcome in the scene. But when I said that, I was very clear in the video saying that once you welcome them into the scene, then you can introduce them to how it works here. I never said change it, and I stand by that. I don't think the scene should change for them, whether it's the FGC or the gaming space. If you want to get involved in something that is already heavily dominated by a type of people, you're just going to have to learn to deal with certain things. When you're welcoming somebody into something, whether it's the games or the gym, there is a way to do it. And then you can teach them, look, this is how we do things here, but don't take it to heart. This donut, this Jay Hana girl, completely missed the memo. She doesn't understand. She doesn't get it. I'm going to play this video to you. We're going to pause it and go over it. There's a couple of things that I want to talk about in here. And there's a couple of things that she says that I just think are like absolutely ridiculous.
She wouldn't last 10 minutes in a COD lobby is not, nor has it ever been, a valid excuse for men to act like pieces of human garbage in gaming. I shouldn't have to play a game where all I say is hi and the whole game is thrown and I'm in hell for the next 40 minutes because men are being emotional about it. That is not normal, and that's not how the old COD days were.
I don't know if you played the old COD games. Yes, they were.
Concussion out.
Yeah, y'all niggas ass. Fuck you, boy. Shut your bitch.
The old COD lobbies were as savage as they got, but everybody understood that it was a little bit of banter. And I like what I said the other day where we should welcome people in. When I said that, I was very specific in saying that I'm talking about offline tournaments. Obviously, if you've got a new person in a venue, don't walk over them and start calling them every single name under the sun. They're going to think, what the hell is going on? Let them get involved in the culture. That is not the same as playing online. When you go online, just deal with it. And I mean that. I stand by that. I know some people might not like it. If you don't like it, mute the headset, mute everybody on there so you don't have to hear them and just play the game. When you jump into a COD lobby, when you jump into Tekken, when you jump into whatever it might be, you're going to encounter some people that have some crazy shit to say. It's not just our women. I can tell you, as someone that is half black, I have jumped on there before, they've heard my voice and they've gone, oh, it's a monkey. Do you think I get upset? No. As a matter of fact, I find it quite humorous. And we get into a little bit of back and forth. I don't think you were ever in a COD lobby to be saying some dumb shit like that. Men are not getting overly emotional about anything. This is just how we like ripping each other. This is how guys get on. When I was in school, my closest friends, our way of communicating, and still now to this day, is to rip on each other. If you're not really ripping on your boy, like I mean, you're getting into the nitty gritty personal insults, attacking them on their insecurities or whatever, are you really friends? Like my closest friends, we will attack each other over everything. One of them will say good morning and it will just be a smorgasbord of hate and insults going their way. And that's our way of saying to them, yo, we love you, but yo, this is just our way of saying good morning basically. If you don't like it, then you're going to have to get the step in. This is not the same as going to an offline setting where everybody's going crazy like it's a football hooligan situation. You're online. If you don't like it, just mute the headset.
Because I promise you, as a man, you have never had somebody throw on the basis of your gender. That doesn't happen.
No, my gender's not been thrown in my face, but every single other thing has. Everything that pertains to me and my being, as soon as somebody knows something about it, they throw it at you. Your gender does not rank higher on the tier list of oppression to my skin color, for example. You can't tell me it does. It's subjective. Maybe it hurts you a little bit more if they talk about your gender than your skin color, but I've been on COD lobbies before and they've been ripping me, calling me monkey this, monkey that. Does your gender mean more than my skin color? Who, if it does, says who? Yeah, when girls enter COD lobbies or whatever game it might be, it's not just Call of Duty. Yeah, they're gonna get ripped. The same way, as soon as they know you're a black guy, as soon as they know that you're gay, as soon as they know you're trans, they're going to get onto you for it. It just happens. It is what it is. You're not getting some special privileges. And I'm not talking about girls. I'm just talking about people in general. You're not going to get treated differently. That's the way they are. And you know what? If you learn to get on with it and understand that it's a bit of banter, and this is how guys get on. They rip each other. They cuss each other out. It's like a feeling out process. It's like if shit went down, can I really rely on you to not be a little bitch about things? You're going to cry in a corner or we're going to get on with stuff? We rip each other on games. When you're comfortable with people as well, it gets much, much worse.
You can say it happens. You're lying. I'm sorry. I don't know why that's such a common thing in the comments of my videos. You guys want to be oppressed so bad. that you'll look at a man calling me a telling me he's gonna tell me to get back in the kitchen and say it's not a woman thing.
It's not about oppression. I don't feel oppressed when people are attacking me over the color of my skin or the way that I look. I've been called every name under the sun when I've entered some of these lobbies. Hell, it even happened on Helldivers once. I remember I accidentally shot this guy and he went off on one. He just kept going and going. Do you know what? I gave it back to him. By the end of it, we were laughing. It's not that deep. It's just words on the internet. Again, if you don't like it, mute the headset.
And say that happens to you too. It doesn't. There's a reason that historically male-dominated spaces are known for being toxic and unsafe.
Hold on a minute. What the hell are you talking about? I'm in a lot of male-dominated spaces. It's not to say everything is perfect. Nothing's perfect. There are idiots everywhere you go. This is a joke. In female-dominated spaces, I'm sure you get toxic people as well. I'm sure you get bad people in those spaces. It happens everywhere you go. Don't pretend like places where they're only inhabited by women that it's just a good thing. I've been in a female group chat before. I've been in an all-female group chat. They say as much heinous shit as we do. As a matter of fact, some of it is even worse. There was a trend going around at one point where girls were sleeping with guys. I think they were having like one night stands. And then they were going into their WhatsApp group chats or their Telegrams or whatever group chats they have. And what they were doing is when the dudes had fallen asleep, they would lift the covers up and take a picture of them butt-ass naked and then send it to their girls to compare the flaccid penis size. This was going on. I don't know if it was happening in America, but it was happening in the UK, and I saw it firsthand. I saw it happening to people, and I was like, this is f***ing insane. If this ever leaked that guys were doing this, it would be a nightmare. Don't pretend like your shit floats above ours. It doesn't.
That goes for gaming. That goes for sports. Any male-dominated space is a bad one. That's not me being sexist. That is me saying there is an inherent issue with the way that you guys have your locker room talk that makes everybody else feel unsafe.
Who's everybody else? If it's a male-dominated space and we're having locker room talk amongst ourselves, what the hell are you doing there? Look, I'm all for being welcoming, but there's limits. You don't come into a space and I'm with my boys and we're effing and blinding at each other and we're having a little bit of a back and forth, we're shooting the shit, and then you come in there saying, change it for me. If you don't like it, leave. Like I said in my previous video, I'm all for making accommodations for people when they're new and they don't understand. When I make a new friend, like I'm sure when you make new guy friends, right? You don't just start calling them all names under the sun, right? You get to know them a little bit, you introduce them to the group chat, the rest of the boys meet them, you go out for a drink, and then the ripping starts when they feel comfortable. But the ripping ain't gonna end. If you don't like it, leave. Now it's the same way. I've had friends before where we've invited them into group chats and they don't like the ripping and they leave. They're welcome to leave, but the ripping ain't gonna stop. That's how most guys get on. Most guys get on that way. When I was on the basketball team, we would rip each other. When we were in the changing rooms, we would rip into each other. Headset on games, we rip into each other. In the gym, we rip into each other. That's how guys bond. It's the same as these people that say the UFC or martial arts is like something for barbarians. I've had this conversation and this argument so many times. It's all barbaric. It's all nonsense. They don't understand until they get in there and they do it themselves that an exchange of fists can bring people together. As long as you're not literally trying to murder somebody and kicking their head in when they're on the floor. But they'll watch it and they'll think, look at this barbaric display of violence or whatever. It's just like, you don't know what you're talking about. And if you don't like those spaces, leave. Just leave. I'm not one of those people that's like, let's change the whole culture for sensitive people. No, we can welcome you into the space, but after you've been welcomed in and you're like, right, this is how we do things here. Now that you know that none of us are rapists or going to shank you, relax, okay? We're ripping into you, we're ripping into everybody else. You're going to get the exact same treatment.
I don't know how you could possibly find it fun to make other people feel unsafe. No woman is asking men to make gaming a safe space with sunshine and rainbows and everything, but could you please be normal? Because I want to be able to enjoy playing the game without my life being threatened.
Your life is not being threatened, you stupid girl. Mute the headset. That's all you gotta do. It's voices on the internet. You know when I make a video and some people don't like it? I just close my phone. Do you think I'm there getting upset? When I'm playing a game and somebody's ripping into me, if I don't want to hear it, mute. Or the headset comes off and I continue playing the game. Why do you want to talk to people and interact with people that are ripping into you? You can go into a different lobby and play with those people in there. Why do you want to talk to these people? If the whole lobby's ripping into each other, why would you get special treatment? Don't play with the headset on. It's that simple.
Without my body being threatened because I'm existing as a woman. And men are the ones making it unsafe. And I do not care if you feel targeted by me saying men or if you feel attacked by me saying men. You are part of the problem. If you feel attacked by that, you're part of the problem.
I don't feel attacked about that. I feel that you should just shut up. That's what I honestly feel. I feel that you're a bit of a silly girl. I think you don't understand the way the dynamics of these things work. I think you don't understand what banter is. I don't think you understand a male space. I think you've come into a male space and you've not understood what's going on here. Now, as I said, I'll reference it once again. Touching people in offline events, cornering people and all that stuff is very different to putting a headset on and shooting the shit with somebody. We do it all the time. As soon as I jump into a Discord chat with my boys, we start ripping each other. As soon as we jump into an online lobby or I'm watching them play Overwatch, everyone's ripping each other. It is what it is. It's not going to change. You need to understand that it isn't going to change. If you don't like it, turn it off. You don't even have to not play the game. I'm not even saying don't play online. But if you don't like it, turn it off. It's that simple. It's not going to change. You bitching about it is only going to drive trolls to come over to your Twitter, come over to your stream, and make this unsafe environment even more unsafe, even though it's not unsafe. I've been gaming since I was yay high, and not once have I ever felt unsafe. And I'm sure some of the guys that have been ripping into me on the other side of the mics probably much bigger than me, some guys that are much wedger than me, some guys that are probably much stronger than me. And not once have I ever felt unsafe because somebody made a comment about my hair, my skin color, my tattoos, my face, the way I'm built, the way I look, ever. So why do you?
If you say just mute them, you're part of the problem. If you sit there and let them say that to me and you don't intervene, you are part of the problem.
Why do you want a man to intervene? You're not an independent woman that can't take care of herself. There's a button right there, just press it. Stop being a f***ing crybaby.
Because I have a lot of male friends, normal male friends, who don't say slurs and don't threaten people and just play like normal.
Go and play with your other male friends then. I'm sorry, are you chained to play with people that you don't like? Is the mute button not working on your headset? Why are you playing with people you dislike? Moreover, why are you listening to them? I don't understand. Do you want to engage with people that piss you off in real life? Do you want to go outside with people that annoy you? I'm assuming not. So why would you want to talk to people on the headset that are saying things about you that you don't like? You're acting like you ain't played a game before. Are you not a streamer?
I understand it's not all men. But if you are not one of the men doing this, it is entirely on you to help stop the men who are. If you don't understand that and you don't understand power imbalances and gender hierarchy, it's not my place to teach you. I'm not your mother. I'm not your teacher. Close the game for 5 minutes and educate yourself. But stop making this a bad experience for everybody else who's just trying to play the game.
I love it when people say it's not my job to educate you, even though you made a 2-minute video ranting about the problems in male spaces and that all of our spaces are toxic, and then you don't want to explain to somebody how they could go about helping you. Turn off the game and educate yourself. You spent 2 minutes talking absolute shit. You get to the point where you're going to make a point about how they could help you, even though there's nothing to help you over, and you say go get educated. It's because you don't know what you're talking about. You have no idea what you're talking about. First of all, in terms of violence, if you want to talk about violence and being unsafe in the real world because of a video game, more men commit crimes against other men, acts of violence, right? So if anybody was going to be unsafe at a higher rate, it's going to be other men, right? We attack each other more than we attack women. But that's not the case. We all know that when you turn on the game, it's just a bit of banter. If you're in a COD lobby and guys are ripping into you, there's such a simple solution rather than you coming on Twitter and making yourself look stupid. Now, whenever you do something, people are going to rip into you. But you know what I found funny? She's on here talking this shit, and I went through her Twitter. I came across this video.
No, it's over, Ina. It's over. Like, if I were to have a boy, we better pray to God that he's gay. We better start indoctrinating him day one. We have to either make him trans or make him gay. We are not having a cisgender straight son.
I don't know about you guys, but she sounds slightly unhinged. I don't know if this galaxy brain knows this or not, but gay men are still men. I don't know if you think that gay men automatically just become women in their mannerisms, but that's not how it works. Like, I've got gay friends. They're just as savage with the ripping as the straight guys are. If not, sometimes it gets worse because they can get pretty catty. I've been in a cussing match with a gay guy. Guy cussed me out. I was like, alright, I've had enough. Like, I don't know what you're thinking. You want to indoctrinate a child into being gay. Isn't it a case where we just let people figure out for themselves? Why would you want to push a child into that? If they grow up to be gay, that's up to them. You know, whatever. If they grow up to be transgender, that's a whole process they're going to go through. You shouldn't be pushing them into something. That sounds like child abuse to me. Pushing a kid into doing that stuff because you don't like straight men is insane. It is insane. It would literally be the same way if the kid turned out to be gay in like their teenage years or their adult years, and the parents were there trying to force them to be straight. It'd be a level of abuse. But because you don't like men, you want to have a kid and then force the kid to be gay or trans. Question, how are you going to have that kid? How is that going to work exactly? Are you going to adopt, or are you going to have sex with a straight man? Because again, you need a straight man to do this. If they were so bad, why would you let one inside you to reproduce? It's honestly people like this where I'm just like, they should not be allowed to reproduce. After saying something like that on camera, if there's a good argument for her to have a child, I'd like to hear it. Now luckily there were some actual intelligent people in our comment section. We've got Nina Infinity here saying, I will never understand this logic. I'm a woman and I've played games with rude people who say stupid shit and it goes in one ear and out the other. What is this BS about making a safe space in these gaming lobbies? Ain't no one coming through the monitor to grape you, hun. Exactly. Welcome to reality. Cybertronic says, I totally agree. The amount of times people have told me they're going to grape me, grape my mother in a game lobby is endless. I've been called every variation of homo under the sun. I've been teabagged, dry humped, and team killed more times than I can count. Yeah, when I was playing Halo, I used to get teabagged all the time. I just sit there like, is this really happening? I've been teabagged and done my own share of teabagging. It's stupid but hilarious. People take themselves way too seriously. Thank you, Nina. Thank you. Somebody with brains in their head. Papa Uru, that name. Papa Uru says, the difference between men and fake gamers. We can trash talk, call each other names, and make fun of each other all game long. But we are back to being friends the next game. Maybe the oversensitive ones are the people who can't handle words without throwing a fit. It's true. It is true. We will go through ripping each other to being the best of friends and going out for some food afterwards. If you don't like it, and that's how things are in male-dominated spaces, then piss off. Go to another space. That's how it is over here. If you don't like it, again, there's multiple ways for you to navigate. There's multiple ways for you to enjoy your game and still be in the space. But you want to turn it into a situation where we have to change the whole culture, change what is fun about this. And it is fun, I hate to break it to you. When I'm playing with my boys, I like taking the piss out of them when I'm beating them, and I'm sure they like doing it to me. You're not going to be able to change it, okay? That's the facts of the matter. You're not going to be able to change it. It's not a bad thing. This is how men get on. It's how it's always been. Any sport that I've played, any locker room that I've been in, any group chat that I've been in, it's always been that way. And the way you're pretending like women don't do this as well, you know girls do this. You know when girls are alone, they talk that shit. You know in their group chats, they're talking that shit. You know in female-dominated spaces, they're also doing things. Don't try to demonize men and a space that they might heavily dominate. As I said, for the final time, I'm all for welcoming people into a space and showing them what the culture is like. And then once they've understood everything and they're like, okay, this is how they do things around here, I'm going to get involved. If you want to stick around, right? You don't have to. But if you want to stick around and be a part of the culture, okay, cool. This is how we do things here. This is how it works. I'm going to get involved. If you don't like it, piss off. If you do like it, get with the times. It's very, very simple. Nobody's reaching through the monitor like the Grudge or the Ring and is going to cause you any harm. I can tell you that from playing games since I was a boy. I'm 32 years old now. Not a single time has violence come to me, and not a single time has violence come to any of the girls that I've grown up playing with. Any of them. Not a single one. You're full of shit. You're trying to turn this into a situation that it's not. You're trying to do a whole Anita Sarkeesian. It ain't gonna happen. We've already been through that. Just shut your mouth and play the game. It's really not that difficult.